Let's begin. It's the win. Listen, laugh, and learn and understand. Hope, believe that you can. It's the Women's Information Network. It's the win.
Welcome to the Win Show. We're so glad you joined us. I'm Paula Fellingham, CEO of the Women's Information Network, thewinonline.com. We're the online home for all women, all ages, a community of women helping women. Our hosts are Laura Lee Christensen, Executive Vice President of the Win. Kim Coles is an actress, a comedian, a speaker, and one of our show hosts. Our guest today is Susan Zabriskie. She's an emotional intelligence expert and a professional speaker. She's going to help you discover profound and powerful tools for greater understanding of yourself and others. These are tools that you can apply immediately and that will last a lifetime. You're going to be building vital awareness, connect more meaningfully with others, and communicate with confidence, clarity, and conviction. You like that alliteration?
I love it.
It's the Real Relationship Show. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank
so glad
you.
You're here.
I'm very excited to be here.
Well, the first question I have is, what is an emotional intelligence expert?
Yeah, okay.
What is emotional expert?
It's her.
Intelligence, and what does an expert in that do?
Well, emotional intelligence is basically being aware of your own emotions, understanding them, and being aware of socially what in relationships, to manage your relationships, and being able to manage your own emotions. And it really has a lot to do with interpersonal skills. It's very, very important, and it can be learned. That's the most important thing.
Yes,
It can be developed. One of the original researchers in emotional intelligence set out to answer a question, and that question was, why is it that some people who seem to be really cognitively gifted, have really high IQs, seem to flounder in life, and others who are maybe less so really can flourish.
In social situations?
Socially, professionally.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
And what's the answer to that question?
The answer to that question is, through his research, he developed a set of skills, 15 that have been identified as emotional intelligence, and developing those really does impact one's interpersonal relationships and success in life.
So give us some tips. What can we do, just like right away today, that we can apply today, that we can improve our relationships, all of them?
Well,
To be more intelligent.
Yes.
Emotionally.
Emotionally intelligent.
the number one secret weapon in improving relationships is empathy. And empathy is one of the very, very foundational skills of emotional intelligence.
I like that.
Wow,
Empathy.
that makes sense.
And so help us understand that a little bit more. By empathy, I mean, how do you do that? How do you have some
Absolutely.
help?
That's a lot of what we talk about on the show. Because, I mean, we all know empathy is, I understand how you feel, right?
Yes.
Right.
But really, it goes beyond that. It's not so much that I understand you, it's that you feel understood.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
yes.
That's
Part two of it, huh?
Right,
Yeah.
and that you
Making
feel
sure.
heard.
I'm thinking business relationships and family relationships,
Yes.
everything.
It's universal, right? And it doesn't mean that I have to agree with you.
No.
A lot of people think empathy means that I have to adopt your opinion, or I have to buy into what you're saying. And I may think what you say is a bunch of silliness.
So you don't have to buy into
No,
it.
no,
You
no. I
just
just
have
have
to
to
be
put
empathetic.
my feelings on the shelf.
What are the thoughts you think when you're being empathetic and you're thinking, what do you think? You're sitting there, you're listening, and you said, I think this is a bunch of silliness, and you're like, but you're showing empathy because you care.
Exactly.
And of course,
trying to understand?
what are the thoughts you think?
The thoughts that you think is, first of all, I'm going to put my own opinions on the shelf, as I said.
Okay.
And then I am going to just really take in wholeheartedly what you say. I want to honor how you feel. And when two people do that in a relationship, it's very, very powerful.
I love that.
It creates a space, and then that's safe for people to express emotionally how they really feel.
So even though they disagree, you're honoring how they
Yes.
feel. And that's what.
It's like magic. I mean, it really is, because it can bring down barriers, it can dissipate negative emotion, and just create powerful bonds and connections between
Is that
people.
also part of the let's agree to disagree? Is that part of it too?
Could be, yes, absolutely. But I think it goes beyond that, because that can be just kind of an intellectual, let's agree to disagree. Whereas empathy is more the emotional.
I love it.
Laura Lee has tried to ask
I
a
am.
question.
I am.
Every time she's going to get it.
Okay.
No.
I want to ask about the male-female relationship.
yes.
And I've heard you say that there's a difference in the actual brains from male to female. How does that impact and should affect, once we understand that, how will it make our interactions different or better?
Yes. Well, if you take the age-old, women like to talk about their problems, men want to just solve them, right? That's a classic we all know. Well, there are really brain-based reasons for that. The first one we can point to is that women's female brains have 6 to 7 language centers where we process information. Men have 1, maybe 2.
Oh, poor things.
I'm sorry.
Too bad.
We love our men.
So, you know, we're like little Energizer bunnies. We can talk up. Women have a great facility for language.
And they're probably saying that's a good
One.
thing, you know. It's okay.
I mean, that's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference because what happens in the male brain is they start to disconnect and shut down because literally their brains just cannot process. And it's very stressful.
And they're looking for solutions for us.
Yeah, they're trying to fix it.
Their brains are much more geared towards the analytical.
Which we need too.
Yes, absolutely. It's a balance. So understanding that difference, like you said, is really key because then we can use that information to work together instead of just being at odds.
So does that mean when you're talking to a man, you just try to use as few words as possible and make it as simple?
Or just give them something to fix. Here, fix this, and I won't talk to you, and we'll get along just fine.
Well, sometimes I start out by saying, "Honey, I don't want you to fix it. I just want to share my heart.
Yes.
Is that
Okay.
okay?" And he goes, "Okay."
That's key.
If I don't have to say anything, that's great. Go.
Good. All right.
To preface it with what you want is really important. To say, I just need you to listen to me. I just need you to hear what I'm saying. And give me empathy.
And that becomes their job, their to-do.
And that's good. That works for them. That's good.
Because their default is going to be to go into that, how can I fix this?
And we love that they want to fix
We
it, that
need
they
that.
care enough. We need that.
We do. This is great.
Good.
So you're going to give us more tips like this on your show.
Yes.
And we're going to learn how to just be emotionally intelligent. Does it also have to do with making a choice? You know, well, something's really making me mad right now, but I'm going to make a choice to express it a different way.
That is really key because if something is making you angry, the key is to not blame what's externally, you know, what you might think you want to blame for that, but to really look inside and go, okay, what is it that's threatened in me, or what is it that I really value that's not being met right now? Because that's where negative emotion comes from, really, truly. And so giving yourself empathy essentially is what that's all about. And then you understand why I'm feeling the way I am. And sharing that in a relationship in an emotionally honest way creates just a really wonderful dynamic.
So you're saying that the key to strengthening the relationship starts here with being aware, understanding yourself. And
Yes, self-awareness is really, really key too. It's very foundational. Because if you don't know how you feel, you know, how can you really express that authentically in a relationship? So self-awareness is very fundamental because real relationships are those where people are committed to, you know, communicating with honesty and emotional honesty and openness and creating that authenticity.
Oh, I feel like we have so much to learn from you.
I feel like this is therapy.
Yeah,
this is great.
yes,
This is the real relationship show.
we're all
Yeah.
thinking of a situation we want to
are.
talk
Yes,
to you
we
about
are.
afterwards.
Yes, we love being with you. Susan Zabriskie.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it's been fabulous. It's gone really, really fast. And thank you. We invite you to go to thewinonline.com, where you're always going to get solutions. You can share your good ideas and you can really connect with women worldwide. Now let's live joyfully with passion and purpose. Have a wonderful day.
It's the Women's Information Network. It's the win.